Welcome to Mobile Robotics Lab 1. Here we will go through this lab sheet, and I will show you how to run these commands. And hopefully if you watch this video and you follow these steps step by step, this lab should be fairly straightforward. Right, so I'm going to assume that step 1 has been completed, that you have logged in remotely to Ubuntu using TeamViewer. So let's start with step 2. In step 2, we've said to launch the Terminator terminal application. So you can see the icon for Terminator here, and if I click it, I will launch it. So Terminator is a terminal application where you can type in all sorts of commands, as you can see, right? And what we're going to do in step 3 is we're going to use Control-Shift-E and Control-Shift-O to split the terminal into 6 areas, right? So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm going to now hold Control-Shift and E, and as you can see, the terminal is now split into 2 terminals, right? And then if I press Control-Shift-O, you can see that it's also split into 2 terminals horizontally as well. Now you can either use Control-Shift-E and Control-Shift-O, or you can right click and also split this horizontally or vertically using this menu, right? So I'm just going to split this into 6 sections as mentioned in the lab sheet, right? So you can move these up, and now we have 6 different areas. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? So let's move on to step number 4. So in step number 4, they've said to I've said to start Rosco, right? So Rosco is the ROS master, which I hope you now understand based on the introduction to ROS video, right? So I'm just going to Control-Shift-V, which is paste. I can also right click and paste like this, right? And now I have started Rosco. So all I did was I copied this, right? And I pasted it. You can also type it into the terminal like this, right? Okay, so now we have started the Rosco in terminal number 1. In terminal number 2, we are supposed to launch this warehouse environment, right? So all you have to do is again highlight this, copy it, right? And then paste it here. If I paste it here, the warehouse environment will open in a simulation software called Gazebo, right? So as you can see, Gazebo's simulation software has opened up this particular warehouse environment, right? And for you to navigate in this, you can use the middle mouse button and zoom in and zoom out like this. You can also press and hold the middle mouse button and move around in this environment like this, right? So just play around a little bit to get a feel for moving around in this environment, right? Okay, so now that we've launched the environment in terminal 2, if you scroll down, the next step is to spawn the Dmi Agb. So the Agb robot that we have developed for the production engineering department, we have a 3D model of that. Most of you probably seen the physical model at the department. We have a 3D model that we are going to launch into this simulation. So again, it's as simple as copying this and pasting it here in this terminal. And what you see is immediately in your simulation, right, in Gazebo, you will see that a robot has launched in this environment, right? So this is the model, 3D model of the robot that you can see at our department, the physical robot that you can see at our department, right? So along with this robot spawning in this warehouse, another application called RViz will open up. So RViz is not a simulation software. So Gazebo is the simulation software. RViz is a visualization software. So what that means is all the sensor readings coming from this robot. So this robot has 2 sensors. One is it has a 3D laser, sorry, not a 3D laser, 2D laser scanner that is scanning this environment. It also has a small camera. So the data coming from that can be visualized in RViz, right? So these red lines that you can see here is the information coming from the laser scanner, right? So you can here also you can zoom in and zoom out, and from left clicking you can move around. So just get used to these 2 softwares a little bit because they will be useful, right? So you can see these red lines here correspond to these racks, shelves that you see here, right? in front of this. So these red lines are actually corresponding to these shelves that you see here, these shelves in front of the robot, right? You can see there are a couple of shelves here, and left side to the robot you can see a bunch of boxes. So if you go here, you can see the same shapes, right? These are the shelves and these are the boxes, right? Okay, another important thing is here you can see what's coming from the camera feed as well, right? So you can see what the robot is seeing here in RViz, right? So quickly to summarize, this is Gazebo. It's a simulation environment, and the information coming in from this environment can be visualized in RViz, right? The second application. Okay, so now that we've launched the warehouse environment and then we have launched the robot, the next step that we have to do is we need to be able to move this robot, right? So to move this robot, we use this thing called Tele Operation, right? So you're going to control this robot like a remote control using your keyboard, right? So to do that, you have to follow step number 7, which is copy this text, right? And I'm going to paste it in terminal 4, right? So when I paste this, right, and I press enter, you can see now that there are a couple of commands, right? So if I use U, I, O, J, K, L, M, and comma and period, what you can do is you can actually control the robot like you're controlling a remote control. But there is something important that you have to keep in mind. You have to make sure that this terminal is always open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just move these two here and make sure that you have clicked in this terminal, right, before you actually do this, right? Because the reason is the input has to be taken from this terminal. So make sure you have clicked inside this terminal. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use U, I, J, K, L to move this around, right? So if I press I, you can see now the robot is moving around, right? You can see the robot is actually traveling, right? So if I press I, remember, make sure you are clicking in this area, and you can see this has turned red now, because otherwise this Tele Operation will not work, right? So if it's not working, make sure you have clicked inside of that terminal. So just spend some time and play around with this. See if you can control the robot and make it go wherever you want it to go, right? So see if you can actually drive the robot using I, J, K, L, U, and O. Okay. So this way you can actually control the robot through Tele Operation. And if you press K, it will stop, right? So just to remind you again, make sure you have pressed or just tap in this area, right? Make sure you click in this area for this to actually work, right? This has to be active. Okay, so now that you can control the robot, right, what we're going to do is, you learned in the Ros section, introduction to Ros section, that all the information coming from the sensors or the motors are communicated to each other using something called a Ros topic. Remember, we learned about different Ros nodes, and information is transmitted between these Ros nodes using something called a Ros topic. So for us to actually see the Ros topics in this simulation, all you have to do is take the next terminal, use this command Ros topic list. So what this command Ros topic list will do, if I open this and I type Ros topic list, you can see a set of Ros topics. So whenever you see this slash and a word here, that is a Ros topic. So you can see that multiple Ros topics are being published at this moment. So for example, if I take RViz, you can see this red dots, right? So those are the laser scanner information, and you can see this camera information, right? All of those are being published in the Ros topics, right? So see if you can find out the Ros topics that are publishing those informations. For example, there is one called /scan, right? So /scan is actually the laser scanner data coming from the simulation, right? Coming from the sensors of the robot. So for example, if you look at step number 9, it says that if you want to observe the data that is being published, use the command Ros topic echo, right? And press scan, right? So Ros topic echo /scan. So if I paste this, sorry, let's just type it, Ros topic echo, and I'm going to type the command scan. What this will show you is the laser data that's coming from this scan. So you can see this is the data that's coming from the scan. So as you can see, it's a set of numbers, right? And we learned about laser scan format, right, where you have individual ranges coming, and these are the ranges, right? And it's the same data that you can see here, these red color dots, right? Another example we can do is we can look at the topic Kinect/color/image raw. That will be the camera data, right? So if I type Ros topic echo and I put this, you can see that this is the camera data. Again, all you're seeing is numbers. This is these are the numbers in your image matrix, right? So again, just if you watch the videos about camera images as well as laser scans, I hope this will make sense, right? So this is all the numbers in the image matrix. Again, if you want to visualize it, you can actually see the image here. Okay, so two important Ros commands. One is Ros topic list, which will list out all the Ros topics that are being published. And if you want to see the data that is being published, you have to use the command Ros topic echo, and you have to give the name of the topic that you want to actually see the data on. Right, so if you follow these steps, right, you'll be able to understand the very basics of Ros, right? So even in RViz, you can see that if you scroll down, you can see the camera topic that is being published, right? And you can see that it's taking in that image data topic that we were talking about. So I hope this makes sense. Just spend some time playing around with this simulation. Spend some time using this Tele option where you can move the robot using the keyboard, and try to understand what a Ros topic list does and what Ros topic echo does. And I hope these set of videos will give you a good introduction to Ros. Thank you.